Okay, crazy garden tour time. Sorry about the car. These are the cucumbers that are just about to come up to the world's most expensive trellis. And some zinnias, I believe. And these are definitely sunflowers. These are, I think they're called Mammoth. And they'll be ready in a couple of weeks. And that's my corn back there, which as usual, nothing is as expected. The ones in the front I thought were short corns, and the ones in the back I thought were tall corns, and it looks like it's the other way around. Anyway, I succession planted them so they wouldn't all come ripe at the same time. But I do think I see 2 or 3 ears of corn there, so yay, I get to have some corn. What else is in here? Oh, this is the cosmos, which, you know, I've never grown flowers, so I didn't even know what a cosmos looks like. Turns out apparently it's a wildflower or weed other places, but whatever. I ordered random flowers from Amazon, and these are in the package, and they're the ones you like to grow, so I'm happy. They're pretty. Fred likes them. So with the zinnias and the sunflower going crazy, this corn is looking pretty prolific. And then that's a pumpkin that's getting very moldy, unfortunately, but there's enough green. See, there's still green on the plant. That's the same plant, and it's growing out there. But there's the pumpkin, so he's doing good. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty little pumpkin. And I think there's enough green left without the mold that'll be fine. I'm not gonna treat that mold or do anything to it because I don't want to kill it. And then more cosmos. This flower bed did have squash and green beans in it, but it got mugged by the pumpkin plant, which is okay because the pumpkins are cool. We like to give them to the kids. So that is kale that we cut out last May, and it came back. Okay, we left the root in, a big root. It was too big. I didn't want to pull it out. It was thick, about 3/4 of an inch. And I told him, I asked Brian, I think it was, to just chop it off, and he did. And that puppy grew back. And there's a few beets trying to grow in around it, which is good. I mix beets in everywhere. And speaking of beets, see where it says bush marigold? I started those seeds, but those look like beets to me. I have never seen a marigold plant that was red stemmed. I could be wrong. It could be bush marigold, so we'll see. But darn it, those don't look like beets to me. And pepper plants, and a few more pepper plants, which is funny because these pepper plants, I put them in a cup same time as I put those seeds in a cup, but I transplanted these, but I was concerned because there were some grubs in the soil and I was afraid they'd get eaten. They didn't, so I planted the rest of them a week or so ago. So these guys have been in about maybe close to a month. They're doing really good, but the other peppers are still tiny because they got transplanted late. And right off the bat, this one got ate by a slug or something, and this one was planted the same day as this big one. So yeah, slugs can do some damage. Ooh, I see flowers in there. So where is it? Cool. It's gonna be some peppers, and there's some in there. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway. Okay, more sunflowers. These were just planted 2-3 weeks ago. Those were planted a good month ago or so. And I'm stopping and looking up at a weird bird. I think it's a bird up on that highline wire. Yeah, it's a bird. I don't know what it is. Huh. Maybe it's a dove? I can't tell. It's distracting me. Anyway, so yeah, these pumpkins are completely mugging the front yard. I mean, I'm going to back up to the sidewalk. And now you can see the pumpkin plants are taking over the world, but it's good. There's really not as many pumpkins this year as there were last year, although there is a nice one. Where is he? I'm looking. It's hard to find pumpkins. There he is. See him? And then there's another one in there. And we have 3 little girls next door that we'd like to give them to, and a couple of other friends from Fred's work. So hopefully there's one up around by the corn as well. So the sunflowers are doing a hard lean this morning. I hope they don't fall down. But these sunflowers were pretty neat. I've never grown a sunflower that had multiple heads like that. Where is it? There it is. Look at all those heads on one sunflower plant. Craziness. And then these giant ones. I love the mammoths. That's what I normally, one of the only flowers I ever plant is just a giant sunflower. And then there were some colored ones. Oh, they're not flowering out right now. There were some lemon colors. Oh, they're all beautiful. And a red one. See the red one? That's so cool. A red sunflower. It's kind of turned orange. It's faded now, but it was very red when it first came out. Hopefully more will come. Very interesting. Okay, let's see. Back to the pumpkins. My lovely new sidewalk with grass on it. Anyway, now we're at the watermelons. And there are actually watermelons on these gorgeous big plants. Well, there's at least one. Where did he go? He's right there. Lovely watermelon. And back here we have one of those, I think it's a Crenshaw melon. This is a squash plant. It's a yellow zucchini or courgette. It's yellow, but the very tip looks just exactly like a normal zucchini for about 1/4 of an inch. The rest of it is completely yellow. Anyway, we cut it back because it had a lot of mold on it, but it's been nice shading these vines for all these Crenshaw melons. Oh, sorry, shaky hands. Yeah, the Crenshaw melon plant looks really good, but I honestly don't see any other melons other than that one, which is weird. All this melon plant. Maybe they'll come later. Maybe it's just too hot. Some plants just won't make fruit in the heat, and it's hot. And my hibiscus that Brian and Katie gave me had lovely flowers on it yesterday. I should have taken the pictures yesterday because all the flowers have kind of, that's okay. That's a yellow squash that makes a long yellow squash, but it looks more like a gourd. It's all bumpy. I've never grown that one before either. It's kind of weird, but tastes like squash. And some sunflowers mixed in with some cosmos. And down below there are supposed to be some peppers, but I'm not seeing. Oh yeah, the pepper plant's hiding down in there. It'll do okay later. It'll grow into the spring. Everything grows through the year if you don't pull it out. And so there's more cucumber here, which unfortunately is heading the wrong way. It's supposed to come to the trellis as well. And look, a lovely bee. That's why the cosmos are good. Look at lovely bees. Okay, so that's the crazy garden. Oh, one more thing. The roses. I bought some of these little tea roses at a discount store. And these we just planted the other day. That turned out there were 5 in the bucket. These are red ones. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully they'll do fine. The yellows that are over there under the kale, I kind of tucked them in under other things so they wouldn't overheat. And they're doing really well. I need to trim them a bit, but yeah, there's 5 little yellow ones and 5 red ones, and we're hoping they get big to grow on the trellis across the front, so it makes it more like a rose garden. Either that or we'll just leave them mixed in here. If they don't get big and like viney, I don't really know what kind of roses they are to know if they're going to get tall or they're going to just stay small or what. So we'll find out. And there's beets mixed in around everything. So that's the garden. Bye.